This video is for all you weed smokers. Your old-fashioned, plain old, I like weed better than vapes. You know what? I'm going to have to agree with you when it comes to potency. I've heard this time and time again. I like weed better than I like vapes. It's much stronger. I get more stoned. And it's sort of hard to believe. You know, good top shelf flowers, 25%, year stories of 30, but let's just go with 25%. That is potent marijuana. In the 70s, it was 1%. In the 90s, it was 3%, according to the FBI. And weed or flower still way exceeds vapes in sales. I don't know what the statistics are. It used to be about 60% flower, about 30% vapes. But people always say, man, weed just seems to hit me harder. It's much stronger than vape cartridges. And that never made any sense. If the weed you were smoking was top shelf, 25% THC, how can that compete with an 80 or 90% vape? Now, I understand they thin that out with terpenes, or they should only use terpenes. But again, you have a 75% vape cartridge versus a 25% THC weed. But man, I tried it, some flower a month or two ago, and one or two hits, and I was annihilated. Now, I'm not a hardcore user, but when a guy or a woman who is a long time, marijuana, medical cannabis user, and they tell me weed is still stronger than vape cartridges, from the numbers, it doesn't make sense. So that makes you thinking. That should get you thinking, and it makes you think or hypothesize, man, there is something else in flower that makes it much more psychotropic. Do the terpenes, even though they're not supposed to, have some type of psychoactive or psychotropic effect when heated and inhaled? Don't know. Are there other cannabinoids or other compounds that labs currently either aren't aware of or aren't testing? Because the difference is so significant. I mean, like I said, I took one or two hits and I was like annihilated. And you take a couple hits of a vape pen and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm feeling it, but you're not just, annihilated. And sometimes it doesn't last that long. But flower just hit me really hard. If it hits you the same way, let me know. But again, my hypothesis is there are other compounds or components in marijuana, in flower, that we haven't yet discovered, because depending on the chemovar, you hear statistics of 400 to 600 to 700 different compounds in marijuana, and then that can double or triple once it's been heated, because you get a lot of molecular changes with heat. But I'm agreeing with everybody out there who thinks flower is better than vape cartridges. It is. It just is so much more potent to me. And I think it is some other compounds or components that have yet to be discovered, whether it's, new cannabinoids, other types of, again, ingredients, components, compounds, chemicals, like THCP, which is like 30 times stronger than THCH. You get a little bit of that in a variety that you just is not being tested for. They're just testing for Delta 8 and Delta 9, and you end up getting really hammered. And that's what happened to me. And I was just so blown away, because the science doesn't make sense, which means there's some science that we haven't discovered yet. Hey, if you like, subscribe and listen. Thanks.